ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वृषभं चर्षणीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यं बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यं। ॐ तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवि वचक्षुराततम्। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं महालक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ श्लीं ह्रीं ज्योतिर्ब्राह्माय नमः। ॐ श्रीराम राम राम। Can everybody say Hare Ram Krishna after me 3 times? Om Hare Rama Krishna, Hare Rama Krishna, Hare Rama Krishna. Okay, which chapter are we in?
Third chapter. Third bhava.
Third bhava, okay. Is that third chapter? I was surprised. Third bhava. We have to start it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, you can take your computer. When you are leaving, you can take your computer. Yeah. We'll just do BPHS today. I'll do BPHS and then Oh, okay. Okay. Now we will do the chapter on the third house. Sahaja Bhava Phaladhyaya. Chapter 14 in Santanam's verse. Atha Vikrama Bhavasya Phalam Vakshyami Bhodvija Sahaje Somya Yugdrushte Bhratruman Vikraminarah. Atha Vikrama Bhavasya. Thus, Atha means thus. Vikrama Bhavasya means third house. Phalam Vakshyami Bhodvija. O Brahmin, I am going to tell you the result of the third house. Sahaje Somya Yugdrushte Bhratruman Vikraminarah. If the third house, Sahaja means if the third house, Saumya Yuk Drushte means Yuk means occupied by, Drushte means if aspected by. Saumya means natural benefit. So if the third house contains or is aspected by a natural benefit, then Bhratruman means there is a sibling. Actually, Bhratru literally means not just sibling, it means brother. But you can interpret it as sibling. Bhratruman means he has siblings, possessed by, endowed with siblings. Vikrami means bold. So for having siblings and also for having bravery, association of benefits, natural benefits with the third house is important. The next verse is, for bravery also, he is saying, if benefits are occupying or aspecting it, then he is saying the person will be brave. Our normal understanding so far is natural malefics make people more bold with the third house, but that is more with the third house from Aruha Lagna. Basically, as far as looks, as far as perception is concerned, malefics give you an impression of somebody who is very bold, etc. Here, what he is saying is different. He is saying benefits associated with the third house, either occupying or aspecting, they can give boldness. And this is not really a perception of boldness. This is actually boldness. Strong initiative. Sabhomo bhratrubhavesho bhratrubhavam prapashyati bhratrukshetragato vapi bhratrubhavam viniddishet. Sabhomo bhratrubhavesho. Sabhomo means, bhauma means Mars, Sabhauma means along with Mars. Bhratrubhavesho means the lord of the third house, Bhratrubhava. So if the Lord of the third house is with Mars, Bhratrubhavam prapashyati means whether it is and or is not clear, but he is saying if third house Lord is with Mars and Bhratrubhavam prapashyati, let us for now say and, okay, and he aspects the third house. Bhratrukshetra gato vapi, or Bhratrukshetra means the third house, the sign containing the third house. That's what Bhratrukshetra means. Gataha means gone into. So whether he aspects or he could be in the third house also. In that case, Bhratrubhavam vinirdishet. Bhratrubhavam vinirdishet. That means the results of the third house. Bhratrubhavam vinirdishet. Good results of the third house should be indicated then. So if the third Lord is accompanied by Mars and he either aspects the third house or he occupies the third house, then you can say good siblings will be there will be happiness from siblings, etc. So here the thing is, here he is not just talking about natural benefits. Here he is talking about Mars himself and the Lord of the house. So the key is, benefic planets when associated with any house bring good results to that house. The Lord of the house also brings good results, especially when he is associated with the Karaka. So third house Karaka is Mars. That is why being with Mars is important. Papa yogena tau papa kshetra yogena va punah utpatya sahajan sajjo nihantaro na samsayah. Papa yogena tau papa kshetra Papa yogena tau means Papa yogena means joining with malefics. Papa yogena tau means those two. Which two? He doesn't say. So obviously we infer the two planets mentioned in the previous verse, which are Mars and Bhratrubhavesha, the third Lord. So if the third Lord and Mars that we mentioned as aspecting or occupying the third house, if they are Papa Yogena means if they are malefic planets, Papa Kshetra Yogena tau Papa Kshetra Yogena va punah, or Papa Kshetra Yoga means a malefic sign. So Kshetra is not really house. Kshetra literally means sign. So we are talking about a malefic sign here, not a malefic house. Like not 6th house or 8th house, we are not talking about that. We are talking about a malefic sign. For example, Scorpio is a malefic sign. What about Pisces? It's a benefic sign. So if the two planets that we mentioned, the third Lord and Mars, if they are either afflicted by malefic planets or occupying a malefic sign, Utpatya sahajan sadjo nihantaro na samsayah, then what you say is Utpatya sahajan sadjo nihantaro na samsayah. Then those planets will actually kill the siblings. Sahaja means siblings.
Which planets will kill?
Those planets. It's not actually made obvious by Parashara, but the fact that he used dual, he did not use singular or plural, he used dual case, which means he is talking about still those two planets. So third Lord and Mars, when they are associated with malefic planets or signs, they can actually give destruction, give death, give bad results relating to siblings also. Whereas he did not say this with respect to the natural benefits that he said earlier. So in general, natural benefits associated with any house is good for that house. And the Lord of the house or Karaka, if they are associated with it, it is good. But if they are afflicted, it is bad. So that is the lesson so far.
But with both second and third point, does it mean that third Lord and Mars have to be together, or they are, one is aspecting third house and one is aspected by malefic and things like that?
That is actually open to interpretation. Sabhomo Bhratrubhavesho literally means Sabhavama means along with Mars. So third lord is along with Mars. But you could also interpret it as Sa means along with, not necessarily joined by. So Sabhavamo Bhratrubhavecho Bhratrubhavam Prapashyati means the third lord aspects the third house along with Mars. Could mean they are in different houses. Jupiter could be the third lord, Sagittarius could be the third house, Jupiter could be in Leo and aspecting Sagittarius, whereas Mars could be in Virgo and aspecting Sagittarius. Okay, so you could interpret that way also. There is nothing preventing you. So the third lord and Mars either together or separately are aspecting or occupying the third house. Then you say that the results are conducive to the third house. On the other hand, if those two are afflicted by malefic signs or malefic planets, then you conclude that there are some bad results. If one is afflicted by malefics, one is associated with benefics, then you have to judge.
First point is, suppose if it is a third lord, Jupiter in third house.
Yeah.
He is in Manakarakasthana and we will say the person is got so
right.
bad initiative, he may be very
right.
Lack of initiative.
We don't say that. If Jupiter is in Manakarakasthana, we don't say that the third house results will be weak. We say that the houses owned by Jupiter will be weak.
Owned by Jupiter.
Yeah.
But
if a planet is in Manakarakasthana, the house it occupies will get good results. But the house owned by it will get bad results. The original logic we gave was, it is not that planet's inherent nature to give good results relating to that house. Of course, if a benefic planet wherever it is, it will try to give good results. But if you tell Venus to give 6th house results, he is not really either fight or, he is the planet of good relations with people. So 7th house, not 6th house. So if you tell him to give the results of that house, he will oblige, but he will have to work very hard for it. So all his other responsibilities will basically take a back seat, because he has to focus on this particular thing. So if Jupiter is in the third house doesn't suffer. Third house will be blessed by Jupiter. But whatever other houses are owned by Jupiter, they will suffer. On the other hand, if Jupiter is in the third house in own house, for example, Libra is the Lagna, and Jupiter is the third lord as well as 6th lord. So then Jupiter, because he is in the third house, he has extra responsibility towards that house. He works hard and gives good results relating to the third house. But in that process, 6th house will suffer a little bit. So 6th house results will be destroyed. So the Manakarakasthana results should be interpreted that way. The next verse 4 is Trigraho Bhratrubhavesha Trigraho Bhratrubhavagah Bhagini Syat Tatha Bhrata Pungrahe Pungraho Yadi. Okay. Trigraho Bhratrubhavesha Trigraho Bhratrubhavagah Trigraho Bhratrubhavesha. Trigraha means a female planet. For example, Venus is a female planet, Moon is a female planet. Trigraho Bhratrubhavesha. Third house is owned by a female planet. Trigraho Bhratrubhavagah means, or a female planet goes into the third house. So female planet is either owning or occupying the third house. Bhagini Syat, then the person will have a sister. Bhagini means sister of brother. Bhagini Syat Tatha Bhrata Pungrahe Pungraho Pungurhe Pungraho Tatha Bhrata, or not or, Tatha means and Bhrata Pungruhe Pungraho Yadi. If male signs or male planets are associated, then you predict brother. So he is saying to see brother or sister, occupants of the third house and the lord of the third house, and then see there is more in graho means male planet. So if either a male sign or a male planet is associated, then he said brother. So this is similar to what we have done with Saptamsa and Drekana to see individual brothers and sisters, if you remember, and individual children. Only thing is there, we looked at the Lord corresponding to the house. For example, if you were looking at the first sibling, we took the third house, either counting backward or forward based on whether the Lagna is male or female, whether Lagna is odd or even.
It is the fifth house for the first child.
No, I am saying siblings. Yeah, for children it is the fifth house. So we take either fifth house or third house for sibling or children. So when we did that, we took the Lord and saw which sign he occupied, male sign or female sign, and also which whether the planet was male or female, and whether the other planets along with that planet, whether they were male or female. That's what we saw. The only factor, additional factor here is the sign itself. Suppose, let's go to Saptam sign from siblings and extend the same thing. Suppose Lagna is Leo. So the first child is seen from the first child, Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, we were seeing where Jupiter was. If Jupiter is, let's say in Libra, we say male because it's a male sign. We say because it's an odd sign, we say male child. And also if Jupiter is, let us say, with Sun, he is a benefic, or let's say Jupiter is with Mars, he is a male planet. So we say Jupiter is male, Mars is male. So we say male. Suppose Jupiter was alone, again he is a male planet. So instead of looking at other influences, you can just look at the planet and say male. So in those cases we said male. In addition, the information here is you can also look at Sagittarius. See if there is any planet, because we looked at Jupiter because he owns Sagittarius, that is the controller. So if there is a female planet in Sagittarius, it could change things. You understand? So that is what Parashara is saying. So this is slight generalization of what we have been doing. Mishre mishra phalam vachyam bala bala vinnayat. Mishre mishra phalam vachyam. If there is a mixed influence, you basically mix all the results, and then vachyam bala bala vinnayat. So mishra phalam means a mixed result. Vachyam means should be pronounced. Bala bala vinirnayat means by judging the strengths and weaknesses of the planets involved in a very careful way. Okay, so determine the strengths and weaknesses and then draw conclusions.
So what is the extra that we are getting here? Third sign is
earlier
male or male sign?
with the what?
The third sign happens to be a male or a female sign. That's the only additional sign.
No, third house containing a male or female planet. Earlier we did not look at the third house containing male or female planets. When we looked at Drekana to see siblings, we saw the third lord.
Right.
Suppose somebody has Leo Lagna. To see the first younger sibling, we used to see Libra, and Libra lord Venus, and we would see where Venus is. Suppose Venus is in Taurus along with Moon. Then we will say Moon shows female, Taurus shows female, but Moon is exalted. Exalted planet shows male. So one indication for male, two indications for female. That's what we were doing earlier, right? Now the additional information is you look at Libra itself also, not just the Lord Venus. So that is the additional factor here. Because he said, Trigraho Bhratrubhavagaha. If a female planet is gone into the third house, he specifically said that. So apart from Bhatrubhavesha, Bhratrubhava is also important. Mishre mishra phalam vachyam bala bala vinnayat vrutau kujatruteyeshau sahodara vinashakau. Okay. So mishra mishra phalam vachyam, that we already covered. If there are mixed influences, you basically judge the strength and weakness of the planets and come to a conclusion. Mrutau kujatruteyeshau sahodara vinashakau. If Mars and the third lord are mrutas, means dead. If they are dead, sahodara vinashakau means they destroy siblings. Saying if Mars or the third lord are dead, means what?
They are limited or they are retrograde or
What does it mean?
are they in
His interpretation is, should the third lord and Mars be together in the 8th house? Mruta means gone into the 8th house. That is his interpretation.
or they could mean in Dukkana.
Parashara never used the word mruta with respect to it. There is only one context in which he used the word mruta, which is mrutavastha. There is a state called mrutavastha, if you remember. There are these bala, all these avasthas based on the age. So in an art sign, the last 6 degrees are mrutavastha. In an even sign, the first 6 degrees are mrutavastha. Last 6. In case you forgot, I will just say again. You basically divide the sign into 5 parts. 6 degree, 0 to 6 degree, 6 to 12, 12 to 18, 18 to 24, 24 to 30. And those, in art sign, those 5 parts are called balavastha, means boy, very young fellow, basically, child. Balavastha, child. The next one is Kumaravastha, means adolescent. Basically more learned than the child, but still probably more problematic than the child. So child, adolescent, and the third one is Yuva, means young, youthful. That means person is fully mature, experienced, at the same time having lot of energy. And the fourth one is after Yuva. Yuva means youthful. The fourth one is Vruddha. Vruddha means old. Means very, very experienced but lacking in energy, losing some focus and concentration. And the final thing is Mruta. Mruta means dead. So these Parashara probably is talking about this Mrutavastha. The next one is next verse 5. Kendra trikona gevapi swocha mitra swavargage karake sahajeseya Bhratru Sokhyam Vinirdishe. Pardon me?
What was the previous point?
The previous point was if Mars and the third Lord. He said Kuja Tritiye Show. He didn't say and or are, but the way he combined the two words is probably and. Okay. So if Mars and the third Lord both are in Mrutavastha, then they cause some destruction to siblings. The next one. But the thing is, we have to use it with a pinch of salt. If Mars, for example, Mars and third Lord are in Mrutavastha, but suppose they are in Molatrikonas, one is exalted, other is in Molatrikona, you wouldn't probably apply this result. So whenever something like destruction of siblings is being talked about, you have to basically take it with a pinch of salt and expect some affliction basically to trigger it. The next one is Kendra Trikona Gevapi Swotya Mitra Swavargage Karake Sahajeseva Bhratru Sokhyam Vinirdishe. Okay. Kendra Trikonage Vapi Swotya Mitra Swavargage. Kendra Trikonage means yes, quadrants or trines. Gone into quadrants or trines. Vapi Swotya Mitra Swavargage means Swotya means Swa Ucha, own exaltation sign. Mitra means friendly sign. Swavarga means own Varga. So you are talking about exaltation sign or friendly sign or own sign in Varga. Which Varga are you talking about? Not obvious. Could be the Rakana, could be Navamsa, could be Rasi. Probably all the three. Because always Rasi and Navamsa are key, and then there is one particular Varga that is specific to this matter. And Parashara is talking about siblings here. And at the beginning of the BPHS, he said that siblings are seen from Drashkana. So we are talking about the D3 chart. So in D3, should be in exaltation sign or own sign or friendly sign or in a quadrant or a trine. Who? Karake Sahaje Ya. Actually, Ya, it's not Ya, it's probably Va, typo. Or somebody, Ya is a Sanskrit, is a Hindi word, not a Sanskrit word. It's the Hindi equivalent of Va in Sanskrit. Of course, there is a meaning of Ya also in Sanskrit. Ya means who, the female gender of who is the ruler of this whole universe. I pray to that Mahalakshmi. If you say that, then you can say Ya, but it doesn't fit the context here. So it is Va. Somebody basically typed it wrong. Karake sahajesheva bhratra saukhyam viniddhishet. So in that case, bhratra saukhyam viniddhishet means then you should basically indicate happiness from siblings. So the criterion is again the key planets are third lord and Mars. So they have to be either in quadrants or trines, or exaltation or exaltation or own or friendly. Of course, Mula Trikona is covered. When you say exaltation and own, Mula Trikona is also covered. Mula Trikona is either own sign or exaltation sign for all planets.
So it is always Mars and third lord.
Mars and third lord, who are the key planets. The next one, Bhratrubhe Buddha Samyukte Tadishe Chandra Samyute Karake Manda Samyukte Bhagin Ekagrato Bhavet. Bhratrubhe Buddha Samyukte means Bhratrubhe means the third house, not lord. Bha means sign. Bhratrubhe means the sign containing the third house. Buddha Samyukte means contains Mercury. Tadishet Chandra Samyute, and the lord of that house is with moon. Karake Manda Samyukte. Karaka means Mars, the significator of third house, Mars. Manda Samyukte, he is with Saturn. Then Bhagin Ekagrato Bhavet. Manda Samyukte Bhagin Ekagrato Bhavet means Bhagini Ekagrato Bhavet. Ekagratah Bhavet means, then basically it means that there is a before the person Bhagini Eka means sister one, Agratah means before, Bhavet. So there is one elder sister.
Mercury in third house and Mars.
Mercury in third house, Mars with Saturn,
Mars with moon.
Mars with Saturn, third lord with moon. And he is saying Bhagin Jekakrato Bhavet Paschat Sahodaropyekah Trutiyastu Mruto Bhavet. Paschat Sahodaropyekah means after that one brother also. So before one sister will be born, and then after the person, one brother is born. So one elder sister and one younger brother are being predicted. Trutiyastu Mruto Bhavet. The third sibling will be dead. So the rule is, if Mercury is in the third house, third lord is with moon, Mars is with Saturn, then one elder sibling and the person in question, and then an elder sister, then the person in question, then a younger brother will be born, and the third sibling to be born after the younger sibling will be dead. Rare combination. If you find any, it will be interesting to verify, because whether it is in Rashi or Drakana is not obvious. So it will be interesting to observe. I don't have any examples. Manchidandi. Okay. Karake Rahu Samyukte Sahajeshe Tunichage Paschat Sahodara Bhavam Purvam Tutatrayam Vadet. Karake Rahu Samyukte means Mars is with Rahu, Sahajeshe Tunichage, and the third lord is in debilitation. So Mars is afflicted by Rahu, which is common. which has a 1/12 probability, and also third lord is in debilitation. Then paschat sahodara bhavam purvantu tatrayam vadet. Paschat sahodara abhavam means after the person there are no siblings, there are no brothers. So the person is the last. Purvam tu tatrayam bhave vadet. And before the person you can expect 3 siblings. So the person is born after 3 siblings, and after the person there are no more siblings. Again another rare combination. Actually this is not so rare. It may be possible to find examples for this. Bhratrustha Kendre Karake Tatrikonage Jivena Sahite Choche Gneya Dvadasha Sodara. Okay. Bhratrusthanadhipe Kendre. The third lord is in a quadrant. Third lord goes into a quadrant. Karake Tatrikonage. And the Karaka Mars is in Tat means from him. Tatrikonage. In a trine from third lord, not from Lagna. So third lord is in a quadrant, and from the third lord Mars is in a trine. Jivena sahite choche. Jivena sahite cha uche. Jivena sahite means with Jupiter. Who is with Jupiter? Bhatu Ganadhipe Kendre Karake Tatrikonage Jivena sahite choche. So that has been used with respect to the third lord. So we are still talking about third lord. So third lord is in a quadrant, Mars is in a trine from him, and also he, by he I mean the third lord, he is with Jupiter, Uche, and he is exalted. So third lord exalted in a Kendra with Jupiter, and Mars is in a trine from him. Again, this is a rare combination. Gneya Dvadasha Sodaraha. Then you expect 12 brothers. This is a rare combination. 12 siblings are rare to find. Of course, my father had 9 siblings. So in the old days, people used to have 10-15 siblings. But these days, it's so rare. So if you find somebody with this combination, you can't expect 12 brothers. But what it means is there will be plenty of siblings. It will be a big family. And you can see that the third house has been really strengthened here. The third lord is in a quadrant, Mars is in a trine from him, and the third lord is Jupiter, he is exalted. All kinds of positives have been mentioned. So no wonder a very positive result is also given. Tatra jyesthadvayam tadvad jatakarcha trutiyakam. Tatra jyesthadvayam tadvad jatakarcha trutiyakam. Tattamam navamam chaiva dvadasam chamrutam vadet. Sesha sahodara shadvai bhave yurdirghajivanaha. Oh my God, this is too specific. Tatra jyesthadvayam tadvat means out of them tatra there jyesthadvayam means elders will be 2. So out of the 12 siblings that were mentioned, 2 are elders. Tadvat jataka, and elders are obviously by inference they are all younger. Tad jatakacha trutiyakam saptamam navamam chaiva dvadasam cha mrutam vadet. And out of all those siblings, the 12 siblings, the third one, the 7th one, 9th one and 12th one, they will be short-lived. They will be dead. 3, 7, 9 and 12. They will be dead. Seshaha sahodaraha shadvai bhaveyu dirghajevanaha. So the remaining siblings will be long-lived. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 siblings were covered. So remaining 6 will be long-lived. So this seems too specific. It seems as though there was one person he knows and then he made the combination based on that person. It will be very interesting to see if there is any combination like this. This is just too specific. The next one is 12. Vyajeshena juto bhaumo guruna sahitopi va. Vyajeshena juto bhaumo guruna sahitopi va. भ्रातृभावे स्थितो चंद्रे सप्त संख्यास्तु सोदराः जयेशेन युतो भौमो means if Mars is joined by the 12th lord Guruna Sahitopiva or he is conjoined by Jupiter also. Bhratrubhave sthite chandre and moon is in the third house. Sapta sankhyastu sodarah, then there will be 7 siblings. Bhratrusthane shashiyute kevalam pungrahekshite sahaja bhratarogneya shukra yuktekshite anyatha. If, and the next verse is, if moon is in the third house, kevalam pungrahekshite, moon is in the third house aspected only by malefic planets. Sahaja bhratarogneya, then, sorry, not malefic, I meant male planets. So if moon is in the third house aspected only by male planets, then the siblings will be predominantly brothers. On the other hand, if Venus is aspecting, then it's reverse. The siblings will be predominantly female. The next verse, verse 14 is Agre jatam ravirhanti prushthe jatam sanaishcharah. Agre jatam ravirhanti prushthe jatam sanaishcharah. This is a very valuable thing. The previous few verses are very, very specific combinations that will probably never be useful to us. Rather than these, the principles that we know, the standard principles in Drakana, counting each sibling, those are actually, I will say, more useful practically. So these are kind of useless principles. Nevertheless, if you find an example, it will be useful to validate this, because they could be really from Parasara, or somebody could have made them up based on a statistical study of some people that they know. Somebody may have added these verses. So we don't know for sure. So we have to confirm these. But the next verse is a generic verse. So this is a useful guideline. Agre jatam ravirhanti prushthe jatam sanaishcharah. Agrajam prusthajam hanti sahajastho dharasutah. Okay. Agre jatam ravirhanti. The one who is born before you, before the person, sun is the killer for him. Prushthe jatam sanaishcharah. The one who is born later, Saturn will kill the person. Agrajam prusthajam hanti sahajastho dharasutah. And Mars will kill both of them. When sahajastho, if he is in the third house. So if in the third house you have Mars, then he kills both elder and younger siblings. On the other hand, if Sun or Saturn is in the third house, they will kill the elder sibling and younger sibling respectively. So basically the bottom line is malefics associated with the third house, they are bad for siblings. And in general, Sun is an important planet for not having the happiness of elder siblings, whereas Saturn is the important planet for not having the younger siblings. So, and Mars is in general malefic for everybody. So this, apart from looking at these planets in the third house, which is the actual combination, what is hinted here is, when you look at Marakas, if you take the third lord, fifth lord, etc., like we have been doing in the Drakana, when you see Marakas, any Maraka of an elder sibling that has association of Sun becomes more potent to kill. Similarly, any Maraka for the younger sibling becomes more potent to kill if he is associated with Saturn. And in either case, if there is Mars association, suppose you, for a particular sibling, the lord of that sibling's sign, let us say, is in Libra, and let's say the second house lord is Mercury, and let us say he is with Mars, then basically Mercury becomes killer, like that. Or let's say the seventh house Scorpio contains Mars, then he becomes a killer. So like that, when you look at the killers for siblings, pay special attention to Mars for all cases, and Sun and Saturn respectively for elder and younger siblings. Okay. Etesham viprayoganam bala vininayat bhratrunam bhagininam va jatakasya phalam vadet. Etesham viprayoganam bala vininayat bhratrunam bhagininam va jatakasya phalam vadet. So like this, using these combinations, by properly mixing the strength and weakness of brothers, you can give results relating to siblings, brothers and sisters of the native. So this is the chapter on the third house. Interestingly, he hasn't given any results relating to Parakrama. Which combinations will make the person very bold and which combinations will make the person a coward. Those combinations have not been mentioned by Parashara, but it is fair to conclude that similar combinations basically. In general, benefic association of any planet is good for that house. Malefic association of any planet, any house is bad for that house. And the lord of the house being in quadrants and trines is good for that house. And the lord of the house being in Dusthanas is bad for that house. And the lord of the house associated with malefic planets or malefic signs is bad. And the lord of the house associated with benefic planets and benefic signs is good. And Karaka is similar to the lord of the house. Lord of the house and Karaka are like two bosses. The boss of the group and the program manager, like we mentioned earlier. So those are the key planets. If they are empowered, if they are in good company, the house flourishes. Okay. So these are the fundamentals. And like we saw in one of the combinations, the mutual placement between the third lord and Karaka, the lord of the house and the significator of the house, that is always important. Their mutual placement. If they are in mutual quadrants or mutual trines, they will help each other. On the other hand, if they are in Shashtastakas or Vidvalsas, they won't really help each other. Okay, we will take up the fourth house in the next class. Do you have any questions so far, either in this class or any in general? Okay, remember them in the next class, and we will conclude this short class, Sri Ramanavami class today. Happy Sri Ramanavami again. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.